The German charge of the light cavalry is on in dead earnest. Mercedes-Benz has got its A and B class cars really setting the sales registers alight in the premium category, and so how can Audi be behind? And here right now is the refreshed version of the Q3. The baby Audi, the smallest Q in the range, and there has been a lot of changes, meaningful ones at that, especially given the fact that this baby comes across with a choice of engines, petrol and diesel, choice of transmissions, whether it be a 6-speed manual or a 6 or a 7-speed S-Tronic. And the most important thing as far as India is concerned is that the 2-liter TDI, which is the staple diet of the Q range and also other models in the category, are really pumped up and made relevant for the present times. The Q3 represents one of Audi's brilliant newcomers in the last 3-4 years. It makes much more sense than many other cars in this segment in this country. It's a nice compact family car, has got a decent performance streak in it, but by and large what you will really revel in is the safe cabin which goes across, the quality of the outfitting in the cabin, the trim, the dashboard, the tactile points, the ergonomic layout, everything is par for the course. The refreshed Q3 has got 10 horsepower more, critically on the 2.0 TDI, which is going to be probably the most called for engine in India. And that translates into very good drivability. The torque is also substantial, 314 Newton meters. And by and large, this is one of the best engines in the Audi Volkswagen Group arsenal. It comes mated to a 6-speed manual, but more than that, the choice of the S-Tronic is also brilliant in any application, be it front-wheel drive or the Quattro. I doubt whether the Quattro would be specified for India as of the moment, but barring that, the way she drives is really the key. The ride quality is brilliant. She rides on 17-inch wheels. The stance is very, very well planted without it being twitchy or nervous in any sort. And I think that works very well for the Indian way of motoring. I doubt that it will go off-road in the truest essence of the term, but she has got the legs for it, so that at any given point of time, you do need to use our lunar surfaced terrain sometime or the other, or rather many times or the other. This car will, what you call, take it in its stride and without ruffling much feathers, whether in the front seat or the back benches. There is also a TFSI engine with the cylinder on demand technology. That is one hell of a new engine. What happens is that at a certain given low RPM drive, the middle 2 cylinders of this 4-cylinder engine are deactivated, meaning in effect gives you the best of so many worlds. Power when you want it, all 4 cylinders fire up. When you want fuel efficiency, it's just 2 of those 4 pods doing the business. Lesser CO2 emissions, better fuel efficiency without much sacrificing on torque or drivability. There is a lot going for it. Nothing takes away from the driving pleasure in the 2.0 TDI Q3 thanks to the manual box. The 6-speed box is seamless in every progression, the actuation and the way the power is laid out, and being front-wheel drive, there is still a lot of sure-footedness thanks to the stance of the car, the geometry of the suspension, including the track to wheelbase ratio of this car. Overall, it is a fairly neutral performer as far as handling and road holding goes. The torque is very decently spread across each cog, and there is ample thrust on demand even if you are slotted in top gear as I am right now, and you could just move out to pass really fleet traffic on the autobahns where traffic is really at its peak. In spite of this inclement weather, and we are doing close to 120 kilometers per hour, which is the permissible speed on certain stretches of the autobahn outside of Munich. Overall, I think if it is priced really well, but with all the bells and whistles, rather than the cut price S versions which we got in India, more so as an entry to the brand rather than anything else, I think a good Q3, well equipped with the 2.0 liter TDI engine, makes the most compelling reason to look at a smallie from the 3 German car makers. So there you have it. The new Q3, the refreshed Q3 rather, has a lot going for it. Substantially from under the skin, and externally there are a few bits which really make their presence felt. Most important, from a functional point of view, the new xenon lamps which come as standard over everything else. I think overall this package is far more meatier, it's far more in sync with the times. Expect to pay a little bit more. Don't expect anything like the cut price Q3S which we have in India, but bar and large, this is a car which is sure-footed, has a strong presence, does everything which you seek of it, both as a machine for play, as well as for family, as well as for going off the beaten track sometimes, like we did here in Munich. It's pouring down hard, so very sure-footed stance. The 17-inch wheels do a great job of keeping the car in good nick. Great ride quality, very, very fine, measured and well-weighted steering. It ticks many boxes. That brings us to the most important question when it comes to India, and that is, what is the price peg it will be tagged at? Answers to that in a couple of months' time.